Hey everyone, Max at 343 Labs here. We're a music production school based in New York City, Berlin, and online. And today I'd like to show you a clip by one of our instructors, the one and only John Selway, which is taken from his weekly stream, which airs right here on our channel. Now, if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification below. Let's get into it.
Let's go. I probably want to unsolo that. See, I told you, I got still waking up. I'm just trying to vibe with it right now. Already that clap is bugging me. It's happening, the clap fill is happening too often. Let's fix that. Blackout. Something should happen there. Originally, there's this little shakery hat thing that comes in, but I feel like I want to not do too much of that. So that might be a place for an edit. I like these hi-hats that just came in. These guys. There's that vocoder version of the vocal sample, which still needs some work. And that ride cymbal that just came in. Not sure about. I like it, but I don't like it. Maybe if we wait till it comes in there. Maybe it just came in too soon now. Blackout. Yeah, I'm already thinking this whole intro could be tightened up and made it a little bit shorter. Now, originally, I think this is where the kick drum, the straight kick drum drops out, but I don't mind it. Just keep, ooh, I forgot about that sound. That's an appropriate sound for the holiday. What the hell was that? That's just some white noise. Wait, listen to that again. It sounds like it's going, oh, it sounds like a ghosty kind of a breath. It's because I've got this vocal formant preset on the, I kind of want it to be even more exaggerated, more resonant, but, what happens if I select all of those and sweep them up and down? Sounds like it's growling. Up there, it's like some kind of evil gremlin. All right, so happy Halloween. It's not Halloween yet, but we're making crazy evil ghost noises or whatever the hell that is. David Boris saying more sibilances on the voice louder. Like, do you mean like the? Do you mean this vocal sample? Blackout. You want that to be more like bright and shiny? I mean, I have. There's a vocoder over here with some noise. I'm using this to add a layer of whispery noisiness to it. Maybe I could give that some more. I don't know. Blackout. Blackout, blackout, blackout. That stuff, right? Kind of sounds cool, a little bit more. Blackout. What am I doing with the automation on this? Nothing? Show automation. Blackout. 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 Oh, I'm using this for some other stuff. Hold on. There's something What is that? All right, something's missing. Something is missing. What is going on? I'm confused. Oh, okay, I remember now. So in it, I'm kind of using that vocoder on a return as a noise layer, and it's adding. I guess I used it. It's been a while since we made this track. I'm like, what did we do? So you can hear the clap is going through that too, and on these transitions, it's also on the bass. Go figure. And there's a little automation to create a white noise swell. And that's just mixed in with everything. You hardly notice it unless you turn it up a lot. Hey, what's up, Eli Groove Tiger? You're here. Very nice. Yeah, so I'm reading your comments. Live Society says it might be cool to layer in the vocal sample a few octaves down now and then. I was trying to figure out. All right, we're derailed from the arrangement now, but I was trying to figure out how to make this sound cooler and different than the original, and then how to get the vocoder really dialed in. I need to do this. I need to bring in this to the arrangement. So it's all right. Will it work? Yeah. Let's get this sounding better. Where's all the reverb? Okay. It's going to be annoying. We're just going to be hearing this vocal sample over and over again for a while. But yeah, we want it to sound deeper, right? I can go and play around with this. I've got 4 detuned sawtooth waves. What does it sound like more simple? Sometimes I think about, like, sometimes the vocoder thing will be, even if it's more pure somehow, it's more sharp. So that's not as nice and wide anymore, but it's more sharp that way. What else could we do to this? What if we actually do some FM instead of layering sawtooth waves just to make this brighter? Whoa. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Now I can play around with those overtones a little bit. Whoa. Getting a little bit bright. But you see what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make it more complex. Really phasey. What happens if I do detune that? Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it's better if it's more pure and sharp like that. All right, so I've been using a sawtooth waves doing FM. Let's play around with it a little bit. All right, that's not good. Let's go back to, let's do a sawtooth wave modulated by a sine wave. Whoa, that's wacky. That didn't work. Let's get them in the same course tuning. Yeah, again, I'm not sure about that spread. I just wanted to sound really sharp and cutting through a little bit. Yes, that's right, Luminous Cloud, vocoder intelligibility. Nomad James says, this is the part of vocoding I need to explore further. Well, right, yeah, just how do you get, if you're working with vocals, and, what kind of sound works, and, how well processed is the sound. I mean, going over here, like there's this whole signal chain on this vocal going into the vocoder. That's also going to affect how it sounds. There's this enhance button, which if I recall, it says it normalizes in the spectrum in dynamic. So generally it kind of compresses it and makes it brighter. Like it's a way sharper now, right? But you can also do that here. I've got this vocal control preset, which I could use to kind of enhance the sound. Or I wonder if like it might be too squashed going in. I might want it to be more. I think who was saying it? David Boyer was saying something about it being too de-essed. That's probably what you're hearing, is there's this heavy multi-band compression on the sound. Kind of like it when it's with less mids, when it's warmer. All right, another thing we can do is play around with the gate here, maybe. We also have more bands if we want it more detailed. Actually, there you go. Now we're getting more detail from each. It's sounding a little bit more like the original character. Whoa. All right, I feel like we're getting somewhere. We can form and shift it. I don't mind that shifted down a little bit. I'm going to go back now to the operator and see what happens if we do the stereo spread again. I do like the width on that. Huh. So I like the metallic shininess of it, but I also want more low end in it. Let's do, I've changed the algorithm, so I've got two modulator and carrier, like a pair of them, right? So that one could be doing the bright layer, and then let's see what happens if we bring this. Getting deeper a little bit. Still sounding phasey, probably because of that detuning from the spread. Turn it up a little bit. I don't know, it's sounding heavier now, right? That's kind of what I wanted. And let's see. So there's all this. We can also play with the EQ going into it. And this is going to affect what the vocal modulation is doing. All right, that I'm not, we need to see about. We've got this compression going on. I just was working quickly with Christian. We just threw on these presets. I didn't even really think about what they were doing. They sounded okay. I feel like maybe backing off of the compression a little bit will make it more, jump out a little bit more going into the vocoder. Usually I want more compression on the vocal going in. In this case, maybe I was going too far already. I mean, you can see there's compressor and multiband. Yeah, less is more in this case. Could also play around with this range here. No, we want more bass. Okay, it's improved, right? I don't know if it's perfect for the mix, but it's improved in terms of how it sounds on its own. Let's see if we didn't just totally ruin it. And check it out. Yeah, it's still, now it's not sitting in the mix right anymore. So let's see. What else have we got going on here? All right, I'm going to listen to this. I feel like I want to reset my bearings here in terms of this vocal and the vocoder action and how it sounds in the mix. And I'm just going to listen to it again. It could just be I'm going to go ahead and turn everything else down just a little bit compared to that vocal. All right, it's a little bit quieter now. Still not psyched about that clap. We'll get there. Whack out. Right, that's too loud. David Boris says, just remove it. No, I want it to work. Okay, here we go. All right, it's louder now. Yeah, this is partly a sound design thing and a mixing thing. It's like it's not coming through right somehow. In fact, it might have been better earlier in the mix in terms of how it fit in the mix. It just still wasn't sounding as cool as we wanted. All right. I don't want to let this hold me up today, though. I'm not gonna delete it, but I'm going to temporarily remove it. And then let's switch gears a little bit and look at this melodic idea that I have. All right. So I was thinking I want some kind of really blippy 16th note, sharp, kind of computery pattern. And I started out with this. Right. I just drew in some notes. And all right, I'm going to kind of back this off a little bit to sort of more where it started after I kind of messed around with it for a little while, but I want to show you what I started with. All right, that's already not what I wanted. What do you want? And that's pretty electro sounding, kind of arpeggiated or sequenced pattern, right? There's some random modulation going on of the panning. So LFO1 is set to retrigger and it's on noise, which is like sample and hold. And every time you hear a note, it's panning around. If I get rid of that, you can hear it's just straight in the middle. And I started out with just a sawtooth. I also tried out a square wave. And it sounds more kind of video gamey like that, right? With the square wave. And I thought, okay, I like that, but it's a little thin. So I added in a sine wave underneath, tuned down a little bit, and it gives it a bit of a harmony. So that's where I started. And then I never ever I was just, again, like what are some presets that I've never used before? This Spectral Spank, it's a funny name, right? But this is just a couple of EQs doing some crazy resonance and panning as well. There's a stereo spread, but I thought that sounded cool. Really made it jump out of the speakers a little bit more. So that could be enough. It's a little dry. Delay, kind of messy. I could use that, a little bit of that, but again, I like the idea of it having space, but also it takes away from the computery, electro-y sharpness of it if it gets too washed out. So I just have to think about that. So we got this, and that works. It's very hypnotic, right? I'm stuttering. I told you I'm a little out of it today. I wanted there to be a bit more melodic variation in there. So, all right. So what I usually do in that case is if I have a simple pattern like this, I'll duplicate it out and I'll start changing notes until I like how it sounds, until it has a little bit more a movement, melodic movement in it. See what I mean? So I'm like just transposing some of those notes to create a slightly more of a variation in the melody. Maybe if it starts the way it... That could work. How does that sound with delays on it? This is with the vocoder noise on it. This makes it sound super ravey. Whoa. I kind of like that, actually. Although, if I do that, I'm not going to use... If I use the same one that all the other stuff is going through, it's going to get maybe a little bit too mushy and undefined. What happens if I throw it on here? I'm going to put it before the spectral spank. I forgot what I did on this one that makes it sound so cool. Where'd it go? Where's that return? There's... Oh, it's just... It's really simple. It's just... Oh, it's more high pass. The range is higher, and then there's a little bit of boost on the high end there. But yeah, really simple, right? Aha, that's what did it. More bands. It sounds a little darker and more sci-fi with that vocoder noise mixed in with it. All right, so I have this melodic idea, and you know, I just sort of started it over again in front of you guys, but it went in a different direction when I was working on it, and it's actually, let's hear it, a little more spacey with the delay and everything, but it's actually not a delay. I'm using the unison voices in analog, right? And you can delay the unison voices from each other. Right, so and I'm spreading them out in time. It's kind of like, it's not quite like granular, but you know what I mean? If you've ever played with a granular synth, you can spread the grains apart and you can do stuff like that. So at 100 milliseconds at this BPM, it's sort of close to 16th notes. So, and then doing that with the track delay at 0, it's out of time now. So I use the track delay to put it back in time a little bit. And then also have some envelope modulation on the filter that makes it sound a little more zappy. So if I wanted to tweak it and do something kind of trippy, I could. So I have to decide, which one do I like better? The more simple one, the more tight one? Or could I use both of them at different times? Well, it still sounds pretty good, right? Actually, that reverb is not so bad. Yeah, it gets all apocalyptic and even more kind of scary with all the vocoder noise and reverb and stuff on there. It's really intense. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to add a melodic element, but still keep it driving and not dark, because the whole vibe originally is pretty dark. Yeah? Cool. Trippy as chips. David Brewer says, Trippy as chips, and Megahertz says chippy trips. Yes, we're doing chippy trips today. And then I have yet another variation of melody-wise, and I think this is my favorite one. I'm still deciding, but I like this one. It's got more of a hook to it. And I'm just deciding, do I like it with that delayed unison voice thing, or do I like it better? I like them both. I like it all. Could also play around with the envelope on this. Maybe that's too much, I don't know. It really takes over when it's too loud, and I mean that's a mix problem. It makes it more dreamy when it's got that long release on it, right? So yeah, that's the choice. How does this one sound again? I kind of like this one better. If I do go the more musical kind of spacey direction, if I want to make a big break or something, this would be the thing to do, probably. Spacey. Rein it in, take away all that reverb. Could do that in the arrangement. I need to be careful though. Yeah, this is a big balancing act in terms of the mix and the arrangement, how often that part is in there, how long that part is in there, how big does it get, or do I keep it tight and sharp? So yeah, let's zoom in. So yeah, this is the Spectral Spank. There's 2 chains. Each one has a utility and an EQ8. And they're being used, so they're panning the signal going into the EQ8, and then each EQ has got some, wow, there's a bunch of stuff going on. I mean, if you look at the stereo spread, okay, that's just doing the panning, right? But then if you go to frequency morph, so frequency morph is sweeping some bands up and down, and then gain morph is boosting or cutting those different bands. In a way, it's kind of like doing something like the vocoder is doing, where it's boosting different resonant frequencies. So, and it right away, I mean, if you listen to this again, I'll turn the detuning off so it sounds more straight. And there's already some panning going on because of the LFO. And we'll turn the Spectral Spank on. So, all right, it's getting louder. That sounds cool modulating. I should put an LFO on that. I could just make a whole track out of only this and some drums, right? That sounds great. It's so simple. We can make more or less intense. It's going to sound more sort of hollow and filtery with the intensity higher. Yeah, what does that sound like with some beats? Oh, the delay. We're going to do the super dry, like more Drexian Doppler effect version, just with the synth and the 808. And so that's it. So I wasn't even modulating it like that. I was just using it to do some like stereo imaging on the sound. And if you run this, and you know, I think a nice thing about this effect is, or just this kind of technique using boosting and cutting different frequencies with EQ left and right, is that I think it should collapse down to mono pretty well. So you can do some wide stereo effects without phase cancellation. Yeah, there's no time shifting. There's no Haas effect where there's delay and you're going to get comb filtering and cancellation. So, nice way to create some interesting stereo imaging. Now we're doing also panning inside of the synth. All right. Eli says it's asking for an LFO. Let's do it. I'm going to do it slow, though. So let's map that to the frequency more for the macro that's sweeping those bands around. That sounds great. I'm going to have to compress and like control this because it gets louder and softer depending on which frequencies are being boosted. Let's do another one. Let's do another one and have that modulating the gain. Hey, come on. Sometimes Max for Live, it's finicky, like if you don't drop it in just the right place. I have to be more careful with that one because sometimes it makes them too loud. And then that through a delay. It's really cool. There's that vocoder again. Is there anything on? What's on G? Nothing. There's nothing on G. I'm going to put another thing on there. I'm playing now. I'm going to put an echo on there. Make it darker. Put a bunch of feedback on there. Put some modulation, some slow modulation on the filter. All the way wet. What is happening? All right, I'm going to change over to 16th mode and do like an odd number. I'm remixing the remix. I'm dub mixing the remix now. Let's unsync these. Woo! Now we're doing polymetric delays. It's a bit much, but it's fun. I love it. We're doing... Oh, this is good. Nomad James. It's making the hair stand up on the back of my neck, full moon style. Okay. What? All right. Does that even work? I would have to pull back everything else. There's so much other stuff going on. Yeah, there's that ride. There's too much of that ride. I feel like I messed the mix up already. kind of out of control a little bit. I like it. There's a lot of that spectral spank on there. It's pretty intense. There's that evil, like ghost noise. All right, it's not bad, right? It's kind of doing okay. And then I have the more simple version of it. Look at this. That's ridiculous. This probably needs another EQ after it because it's all over the place. Yeah, look at that. Give it a little squeeze with some compression here. Just, you can see sometimes it peaks up a bunch more. I want to control that a little bit. Kind of make it pop a little bit too, depending on what the attack is doing. Using a compressor for what a compressor is for. Yeah, it's leveling it out a lot more now. It's not jumping up and down as much as it was, which should make it okay, make it easier to kind of fit into the mix. Yeah, what I'm thinking now, I'm just, while I've been tooling around and playing around with these little tweaky things on this synth, is how it fits with all the other elements. I really love the main synth sound, you know, from the original version. It's really heavy. This stuff. But it sounds best when this, with the synth, when this is dark. And like when it gets really bright like that, it covers up or interferes with that synth. So probably I should use that as a cue in the arrangement and kind of follow along with that or adjust it. So let's listen to this from the beginning again, and I'm going to start thinking about where and how I can fit these parts in. Blackout. All right, there's that. Right, we need a beat at the beginning. We want to start without the hi-hat, probably. Everything unmuted? Anything soloed? And am I missing anything? All right. I'm just going to start recording some stuff and let's make some, let's commit. Felt like maybe I wanted the hi-hat to come in already, but there's other hi-hats that come in. I'm just going to throw it in there. Forgot about the trigger. Gotta have that. There's that crazy effect I put on it too, but I'll come back to that one. I'm already wondering if I want to have the melody, the little blippy melody coming in earlier. Like tease it in a little bit and then take it away. But let's see how it goes. Blackout. Maybe right there. Okay, let's get that in there. Which version? Yeah, like it works well in this when the other sounds are more dark and they're not noisy. Or maybe we can switch to this. That would work. Maybe this gets a little more intense here. Is that too much? All right, that went the wrong way somehow, but cool. I'm gonna have to go fix the automation there. There's the scary ghost. All right, that whole transition needs to be worked on. I like what's happening though. Maybe it needed to be, oh. This part where the other sound, the bass industrial kind of sound is really loud, this is where the melody needs to be away or muted or darker. And it could come back here. All right, I know I have to fix all this automation. This is okay with the resonance happening. All right, let's try. That's a bit much right there. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, we gotta fix that. I did not expect that to happen. The resonance is up really high. That was cool. That little transition there, just playing with the envelope on the filter. Okay, so much to be done, just playing with the filters and I'm mostly just playing with the amount of effects and the envelopes to make it brighter or longer or tighter. The arrangement is over now, by the way. It's just looping. I need to stop it. I haven't done any other changes with the drums, so that's a whole nother level that I can do. All right, I didn't mean for this to be longer. All right, just fooling around at the end there. So I feel like there's a lot going on there that was good. It needs to be refined. But, yeah.
Thanks for watching. And don't forget, we put out new content every week. So don't forget to check back often. And if you'd like to learn more about music production and take a course with us, or just join our community, come check us out at 343labs.com. See you next time.